Hey guys, Mobile Geezer back with this month's edition of Oldie but Goodie, kinda like me, and it's February 2019's Moto G7 Plus.
Let's do this!
This was a good phone in its day, and it's still pretty good, as you guys will see. And we've been updated to February 2021, and it's still on Android 10, and that's where it's going to stay. That's as far as it got updated. So 2 years. So here's your specs, and you can stop it to check out what you need to. So the fingerprint sensor is in back where the Moto logo is, and of course it being rear mounted, it's quick and easy. So we're going to take it out. I'm going to do a little front camera from the car. We'll do a little rear camera in the park if the rain will let us. And then we'll finish up with Oldie but Goodie, kinda like me, Moto G7 Plus from February 2019. So here we are shooting on the front-facing camera, 1080p, 30 frames per second. And now the front camera will also shoot at 4K, 30 frames per second, which I will do when I get to the park and do a little shooting there, assuming the rain allows me to do that. We'll see. So, just wanted you to see this 1080p 30 frames per second, and then we're going to try some 4K 30 as soon as I get to the park and out of the car. Okay, I think the rain will give us just enough of a break for me to get this done here in the park. So, here we are on the front-facing camera, 4K 30 frames per second. Sorry, I'm strictly handheld because I don't have my monopod or tripod with me, so please bear with me. So let's try the rear cameras. Okay, here we are on the rear cameras, 1080p, 30 frames per second. And let's try to do a little zooming. So there's 8x zoom, which is the max. So zoom back out. And a little bit. And we'll take a walk down to our tree. Try to let you see what the focusing is like a little bit. Not super fast, but not bad as far as I can tell. Okay, now we're going to try the 1080p 60 frames per second. Okay, here we are at 1080p 60 frames per second. Sorry about the shakiness. Remember, I'm handheld here. But I figure on a 4-year-old phone, you're probably not going to care all that much. So let's run a little bit. And as you can see, the creek is flowing pretty good because it's pretty much been raining all night, I believe. Let's try zooming in a little bit. Here we are at 8x zoom at 60 frames per second. A lot of distortion. Yeah, that's bad. heck of a lot of distortion, that's for sure. Alright, so now I'm going to take this to 4K, 30 frames per second. So here we are at 4K 30 frames per second, which is the max that this camera will do. So let's try zooming in a little bit. So there's 8 times zoom. Doesn't look to me like it's distorting as much as it did at 60, but I could be wrong. Let's zoom back out. Pan around just a little bit. And now we'll take a few pictures, and that'll be it for Oldie but Goodie, kind of like me, for the Moto G7 Plus. So we've done some video, some photos from the Moto G7 Plus. At the time it was released, the G7 Plus was the high end of the 4 budget and mid-range G7s. The G7 Play came at 150, the G7 Power came at 210. The regular G7 came at 250, and the G7 Plus was $300. For what you were getting, I think that was a very good price, because I think it was a very good phone and still is a pretty good phone. Now, I did find one at Walmart's website for $179, and I saw one in eBay for $250. $179, I think it's worth $250. Yeah, you're stretching it a bit when it started at $300 4 years ago. So that's this month's edition of Oldie but Goodie, kinda like me, the Moto G7 Plus from February of 2019. As always, comments are welcome. Thanks for watching. And by the way, we all do better when we love each other. Yeah.